on ClassX Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jerry, I'm proud to report that I've had an hour and a half sleep, which means I'm well rested. I'm ready to go. I definitely am going to send Jake on a Frisch's run. God, will somebody please contact Frisch's on our staff and say, the Bulldog gets Frisch's every morning for breakfast. Give us some of your money. If not, let me see. What else will we go? We'll go, I don't know. I don't know if anybody else has got a breakfast as good as that. First Watch, they're too hoity-toity for us. We're rebels. We're troublemakers. That's what we do. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury, as always, we're going to have a great show. And, you know, I have this theory, and those around me think that I'm wrong. Chuck thinks I'm wrong. You know, my wife thinks I'm wrong. But I've just been living life too long to know that I'm right. And that's what it, and this is what it is, okay? If I have a great morning, my afternoon will suck. If I kind of have a sucky morning, my afternoon will be better. If I have a really good day, the next day will suck. If I have a bad day, I mean, yesterday I had victories. I had good news. I had happy friends, happy family, good health, funny stories. I had a happy visit from my dad to the office. I had some money in the bank. I had a radio superbity. I mean, I was dealt life's inside royal flush yesterday. So I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to rejoice. I'm going to celebrate, shout it from the mountaintop, give thanks to the good Lord, and appreciate that Monday was superb. Why? Because I'm telling you right now today, and I don't know why, but you just watch, today will just absolutely suck. It's the nature of life. Now, Garrett, am I right or am I wrong? Do you agree or disagree with my thesis?
Absolutely. Nature of life. Circle of life.
I mean, it's just the way it is. That's why you might as well enjoy the good times, because bad times are around the corner, and that's how you survive the bad times. I watched last night, at the recommendation of my son from Netflix, in the middle of the night, Anderson Silva, Be Water, which was a takeoff Bruce Lee's, you know, Be Water, Be Water. And my son was telling me Anderson Silva was as good as Bruce Lee. I'm like, no. But it was still pretty cool, and he's a good guy. And it showed him leading up to a fight against Chael Sonnen, who had him whooped, and then he freaking got him around the neck and tapped old Sonnen out. And then in a refight, but then they busted Chael for steroids, and then they fought again, and Anderson just whooped his butt. But I have to admit, he's good. He's really good. The Spider. They call him the Spider. Be Water. Have you ever been thinking about, you know what? Do you ever have a deep thought, Garrett?
Absolutely not. I have no deep thoughts.
I mean,
why don't you read the Bruce Lee poster? You haven't done that in a while when we first got it.
Well, you know what? That's not a bad idea. And thanks to my wonderful eyesight, I hope I can read it.
Yeah, I can help you out here.
Now, you know what? I cannot read. Can you go take it down and bring it to me?
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on.
You take it down and bring it to me, because I think that would be worth it. And by the way, the quote of the day is from Epictetus. To accuse others for one's own misfortunes is a sign of want of education. To accuse oneself shows that one's education has begun. To accuse neither oneself nor others shows that one education is complete. By the way, I got a great law story, as always, to tell you. Yesterday, down in the old Kenton County Courthouse, Robbie Sanders strikes again. Funny story. Okay, this is Bruce Lee's. Now, this poster hangs in our studio, and of course it hangs on my son's wall. I'm the one that introduced him to this. But when you think about it, this is a good philosophy of life. You know, here at ClassX Radio in the morning, we like to entertain. That's a perfect one, Jake, right there, baby. That's what I'm looking for.
That's it.
Got a special treat for you, the last song of the day. I mean, not like George Harrison. We would never bump George Harrison, but the song before George Harrison is going to be an earth-shattering musical wonder. A first probably on ClassX Radio. But anyway, here is Bruce Lee's philosophy of life, which, you know, I share with you. Empty your mind. be formless, shapeless, like water. If you put water in a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water in a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now, water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. It gives me goosebumps just to read it. That's pretty good stuff. Jeet Kune Do, baby. Jeet Kune Do. And I'm going to wake everybody. Actually, it wasn't too bad yesterday, but I'm going to wake everybody up this morning. I just want you to know that the music will wake your ass up. You're not going to need caffeine. Today in history, Congress accepted Ohio's Constitution as statehood in 1803. Do you know that statehood was not ratified till 1953? Bet you didn't know that?
I did know that.
Really? 1881, Kansas became the first state to prohibit all alcoholic beverages. What a boring-ass place to live.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
1913, the first prize inserted into a Cracker Jack box. I wonder what that prize was. I mean, they say that. Come on, William, what was the first prize? FDR orders detention and internment of all West Coast Japanese Americans. Kind of a stain on our ethnicity. 1945, 30,000 U.S. Marines landed on Hiroshima. 1977, oh, my God, I can't believe I didn't put some Fleetwood Mac in my playlist.
We got to get some in there.
Nah, we'll wait till tomorrow. Rumors album was released today. And, when you talk about not a greatest hits album, but just an album, that might be my favorite album of all time. AC/DC, Back in Black, Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. Maybe Born in USA, Bruce. 1985, canned and bottled cherry Coke was introduced by Coca-Cola. Doesn't a cherry Coke from Frisch's sound good, Jake? Yeah. Anti-smoking ad airs for the first time, featuring Yul Brynner. Didn't he die of cancer? I think he did. 2001, the Oklahoma City Bombing Museum was dedicated at Oklahoma City National Memorial. We come back, we have birthdays, we've got the news. But until then, let's raise a little hell with Trooper on ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. Well, we got to get some new posters. You made all that room there, Jake. We're going to finish it off. Justine Bateman is 47. Seal, who lost his woman, is 50 years old. Roger Goodell's 54. Jeff Daniels, the actor, is 58. Smokey Robinson. Oh, you got something here?
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Yes. Let's hear it.
Guys!
Dumb and Dumber? I guessed it.
Fellas, you think we could listen to the radio or something?
Radio? Who needs a radio? Ready, Harry? Mock. Yeah. Ing. Yeah. Bird. Yeah. 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 Mockingbird.
They probably couldn't pick a better song to do.
Have you heard?
This movie is
Mockingbird.
That mockingbird don't sing. She's gonna buy me a diamond ring.
He's doing like backup.
Hey, Lloyd, look, there's some people want to ride too. Pick them up.
Yeah, baby. You got any Smokey Robinson over there?
Pick him up. Yeah, little Rick James.
Rick James.
Friend of the show and Smokey.
Yeah. It's a shame that Rick died. He would be here every morning with us. Bitch. Nicholas Copernicus.
I'm Rick James, bitch.
You know what? I think my favorite comic in the whole darn world is David Chappelle. I saw him live, though. He was stoned, man, down at Funny Bone.
I'm sure.
He was off his game. He just sat there in a chair and just, I said, I can knock this out here real quick.
Yeah.
He was kind of off his game a little bit. Today's cloudy and windy and rainy. High 37. And I can tell you right now, last night it was windy and warm. It was kind of weird. In the movie E.T., the sound of E.T. footsteps were made by someone squashing oranges. These are things that are interesting to, you're at a cocktail party. Hey, did you know in the E.T. movie, they made the sounds of E.T.'s feet by squashing oranges? That's why we do this. We give this to you so you have some information that you can use at cocktail parties. Heating up in a rock in a microwave oven will cause the rock to explode. Well, hell, I would think so, because rock has metal in it. I could have figured that one out. Near the Caribbean Sea, there's a species of oysters that knows how to climb trees. They're going to make a horror movie about that.
Jake, where were you on that one?
The oysters that can climb trees.
Killer oysters.
The water that we drink is already 3 billion years old. Hey, dude.
Mind blown.
That mind blows me away, man. 3 billion. Well, how do
That's
they know?
older than us.
I'm drinking Aquafina water, and they just put it in the bottle. So how can the water that they just put in the bottle be 3 billion years old, dude?
Dude, it must have been here when, the Earth was created or something.
It must have been. Only 30% of people can expand and contract their nostrils at will. I can you? You can't do it. Oh, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Can I?
I don't know if you're doing it. Can you open them up? See, you're not opening them up.
I don't think I can.
He can't.
Well, it says 30%
Can.
can.
Jake and I can, and Garrett can't. 63% of the people in this studio can do it. Adolf Hitler kept a photo of Henry Ford on his desk, and Henry Ford kept a photo of Hitler on his in Dearborn, Michigan.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird. Ford got in trouble for some of his pro kind of Hitler stuff one time. That is messed up, though, right there.
What was Hitler before he was a evil dictator?
A jackwagon. He was an artist. He was a corporal. True story. He was a corporal in the Army in World War I, and was a general jackwagon. And then he got arrested, and that's when he was in prison. He wrote Mein Kampf. You know what Mein Kampf means? It means my struggle, which is a freaking diatribe of stupidity. And then he just got going in the old beer pooch. Then he got elected chancellor, and the rest is history. It's just like Barack Obama getting elected as president is kind of like, how'd that jackwagon get there? Mm-hmm. Same thing. Oh, by the way, somebody sent me a joke. I don't know if it's in the newsletter, but if it's not, I'm going to use it anyway. Speaking of Barack Obama, it's a pretty good joke. A clam can switch its gender from male to female. Now, wouldn't that be cool if we could do that?
No.
Do you ever want to be a female? I would. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to have no operation. But I have to admit, I wondered what it'd be like to be a female for a day.
I think that guys have it made.
Well, I'm not saying I'd want to stay as a female.
Right.
No, I take it back.
You just want to give it a whirl?
Hot woman has it made. They play the cards right.
Right. They're not totally stupid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. The British have a law. Suicide is punishable by hanging.
You can't do it, we'll do it for you.
Theodore Roosevelt was the only president to practice jiu-jitsu in the White House. And he was also a champion boxer. I knew that.
I bet you could kick his
TR.
ass.
I don't think so. TR's pretty badass.
Wasn't he a fatty?
No.
I think.
He drank, true story, he drank a gallon of coffee a day.
Ugh.
An elephant will still remain in its standing position even when it has died. Just stole your thunder. Try to beat that animal
We've
fact
had
there,
three
Jake.
animal facts.
Are you back from Frisch's yet?
Yep.
All right.
We're all out.
They're fresh out. Hey, is that true, Jake? They just die and then stand there?
I don't know.
I guess they would.
I think so. I guess it depends on how their balance is when they die.
Da Vinci spent 12 years alone painting Mona Lisa's lips.
That painting sucks.
George Bush was the only president to have played Little League Baseball. Moral of the story, somebody has on their resume they played Little League Baseball. Don't freaking elect them president.
Yep.
Little League Baseball community organizer. Let's stay away from those guys.
And Eagle Scouts.
Yep. Lice can jump over a distance 350 times longer than their bodies, equivalent to a human jumping over the length of a football stadium. Man, that's a jumper right there, baby.
Here's the difference,
Lice.
William. Lice are microscopic. Moron.
You know what? This is pretty good right here. The question of the day. Why is it called Alcoholics Anonymous when the first thing you do is stand up and say your name? Because they don't let you in the building.
You gotta state your name.
My name is Eric Deters, and I'm an alcoholic.
Man, I had to do that. I was taking a drug and alcohol, like it was an addictions class. It was like a psychology class at UC. We had to go to an AA meeting. It's kind of crazy.
All right, here's the joke. They put this in here. Wayne was smart enough to put this in there. A guy traveling through Mexico on vacation lost his wallet and all his ID. Cutting his trip short, he attempted to make his way home, but was stopped by a U.S. Customs agent at the border. "May I see your identification, please?" asked the agent. "I'm sorry, but I lost my wallet," replied the guy. "Sure, buddy, I hear that every day. No ID, no entry." "But I can prove I'm an American. I have a picture of Ronald Reagan tattooed on the side of my butt and George Bush on the other." "This I gotta see," replied the agent. With that, the guy dropped his pants and showed the agent his behind. "By golly, you're right," exclaimed the agent. "Have a safe trip back to Chicago." "Thanks," he replied, "but how did you know I was from Chicago?" The agent replied, "I recognized Obama in the middle."
But why does that mean he lives in Chicago?
I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Now, like I said before, Garrett, you don't have any deep thoughts.
A horrible joke.
Shakespeare for the day. "Oh, but they say the tongues of dying men enforce attention like deep harmony." You know what? I want to appear in a Shakespeare play. I never have. I want to play. Let me see. What would I want to play? I want to play Caesar.
I want to play Caligula.
Caligula? Ugh.
Hey, he was a badass. No, he wasn't.
What else I could play? I could play. Let me see. I don't want to play Romeo. He dies. Romeo.
I'm playing Romeo.
We're
Shannon is Juliet.
Romeo. Juliet. You got a crush on her, don't you?
No.
It's pretty obvious.
No.
I am not kidding. You ought to see how you
We're work associates.
You bright yourself up when she comes in. It's like,
we're
Shannon's
co-workers.
here.
It's a professional relationship.
Okay. Just keep making yourself believe that. Professional relationship. I never did understand that.
I'm way out of Shannon's league.
At work. I say, why not?
Yeah,
if two
go
people
for
want to
it.
have an office romance, let it go. Let it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jerry, consistent with me wanting to put you in a good mood this morning, we have nothing but awesome music. Of course, we do that every day anyway. This is New York Groove by Ace Frehley. On your drive in, I just want you to be happy out there in America. All right, Big Jury, ClassX Radio. What a great entry. You know, Beatles getting together and getting in the studio and doing that was awesome. Jake, you ready? I can tell you're just dying to tell us the fun fact. You got a fun fact there, animal fact, or you got traffic?
I got a fun fact. We're going to get frishes today.
Okay. What about animal fact? Can you beat an elephant dies and it stands up?
No, not right now.
Jeez.
My Lord, Jake. You are on the
My
birds
God.
are getting fired.
You know what?
I think I said this one
We
before.
call it, hey, you know what we call it? We call it radio superbity, Jake. What that means is when the microphone's on me, I have to be superb. It's Garrett, superb. We expect you to be superb. Shannon, well, we don't expect. Well, yeah, wait. Well, we get the most we can from her, okay?
Yeah, Shannon tries.
She tries.
I got one. I think I've
She
said,
has
but not
superb
on air.
effort.
I think I got one.
All right.
Giraffes and humans have the same amount of neck vertebrae. Just 7.
Now that's interesting
That's
because they got
horrible.
long necks.
They got long necks.
Horrible fact. Gives a damn.
Hey,
Thanks, Garrett.
the former Hollywood trainer for Flipper and Lassie has died.
Oh,
Age 69. Dead.
69er.
Mindy McCready has said that before the country singer took her own life Sunday, she shot and killed her dog. How terrible is that? You kill
that's
your
nice.
dog. You know? Take your dog in the promised land.
Jeez.
Hey, Robert Plant's hinted he wouldn't be opposed to a Led Zeppelin reunion in 2014. I'll come out and introduce you, Robert. A good day. I still can't believe they came up with this. Good day to die hard. Gosh dang. The film holds the record for most cars crashed during filming. 132 vehicles were destroyed and 538 damaged in total during filming. Jeez, oh Pete. The X Factor, Khloe Kardashian will reportedly not asked to be returned.
Khloe.
Why? Do you think because she sucks?
She the fat one? She the big one?
Yeah,
Jake?
Alec Baldwin's under fire for allegedly threatening a reporter and using a racial slur. Let me tell you what. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Prince Michael Jackson, the eldest son, is going to have his debut as a correspondent for Entertainment Tonight. Good for that kid. Maybe he can develop his own identity as a correspondent. Hey, Prince, you're welcome to come on our show. We'll be kind to you. Because he's really rich, and maybe he can help our careers out, you know. So
sponsors. Yep.
Britney Spears is reportedly dating 27-year-old law firm field researcher from Atlanta. She just wanted to be with a normal guy. Hey, Britney, Garrett's a normal guy that works for Coke.
Yep. I'm a normal human being.
I got to ask you a question. Britney Spears, would you date her? Because let me tell you something about Britney Spears. I don't think she's attractive, and she just seems skanky to me.
Yeah. I don't
Too many pictures without underwear getting in and out of cars.
Now, back in the early days, like the Baby One More Time, where she had like the schoolgirl outfit on in the video, oh, that was hot. Mm-hmm. But ever since then, skank.
John Travolta wanted to name his daughter Qantas after the airline, but Kelly Preston wouldn't allow it. You know, every time I hear the name of Kelly Preston, I want to tell all of you to go watch the movie Mischief that was made back when Kelly Preston was young. And it's kind of a shocking scene in a movie, Full Frontal.
Oh.
And it was like a little feel-good, kind of happy 50s kind of movie. Beautiful. Beautiful. And then she had to marry Travolta. I don't understand it. Rest in peace. Jerry Buss, the L.A. Lakers owner, died yesterday morning after a battle with cancer. He was 80 years old. He bought the Lakers in 1979, and the NBA wasn't very good, going very good then, of course. He brought it all back with Magic Johnson.
Yeah. Maybe the best owner of all time in sports.
Manti Te'o says he doesn't believe his girlfriend hoax will play a role in the NFL draft selection. Hell if it won't. I can hear a GM saying right now, we won't draft that guy.
Yeah, I would love to be a fly on the wall in his interview rooms when he's talking to scouts and GMs.
Here's something I'm sure William didn't pick up, so I'll share it with you. Johnny Football, also known as Johnny Manziel, the Texas A&M quarterback, was hanging out in New Orleans during Mardi Gras, NBA's All-Star Weekend with his friend and rapper Wale. Wale. His classes, get this, 4 online classes in sports management.
It's a heavy workload.
Sports management.
Hey, he's balling out. I don't blame him.
Jeez.
He's got all this newfound fame. He's going partying.
NKU is a sports management degree. Doesn't what's-his-name teach here that the guy does radio sometimes? Can't think of his name. Tom Gamble. California coach Mike Montgomery has been given an undisclosed punishment by the Pacific 12 for shoving a player during a game Sunday night. Yeah. Maybe he deserved it. The Cyclones lost to Kalamazoo 4-1.
Well, Mike Brace shoved a player.
Jackwagon Nick Brunger up, and you tell him that I jackwagon Nick Brunger up. He used to be my favorite. Now I can't stand Brung. I hate you, Brunger.
Why do you hate
Almost
Brunger?
As bad as Wildman, because he won't let us come over and have Bulldog Nation night at Cyclones. You and me dropped the puck. Oh, by the way.
I went yesterday.
Did you? Yeah, Saturday night. I mean, I know the lead singer of the Rolling Stones cover band, okay, Mick? And I really got to go down there. What do you got? You guys got plans Saturday?
Yeah, I got plans.
Yeah, I'm being South Bend.
Really?
Yeah. I don't want to go anyway. We ought to go down to the Cyclones game and just melt the ice.
There you go.
Before a game.
Throw a big
hey. I got it. And I know because I'm an antisocial dude. We got to pick a Thursday night. Thursday night's a night that I can go, not a weekend night. Are they at home this Thursday?
No.
All right.
Well, maybe.
Jake, you're in charge of this. Find out the next Thursday night game, and screw Brunger. Let's just show up and crash his booth.
Oh, I know, right? I mean, they don't even have a booth. It's just a seat.
Right. We will crash his world.
Yeah, let's sit right in front of him and just right behind him and just
he's
hackle
the announcer, yep. Wildman Walker had that job, and he got fired from it.
No, it's different jobs.
How bad do you got to be get fired from that job?
Wait, Wildman doesn't do that anymore?
Yeah, we like Wildman, though, because he wore his ClassX T-shirt on that shitty excuse me, you can't say that word. Here we go, dump it. We can't dump it. My bad, that crappy show. My bad. Jeez,
Sports rock. Sports
when
of all
are we going
rock.
to get a dump button? When are we going to get a dump button?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what this is? You know what this is like? This is doing radio without a net. This is doing radio without a net.
It's jumping in the circus.
Gosh, man. You need a net, man, when you do this. Don't you agree?
Yeah, sometimes they just slip out.
I mean, you got to have a net. We don't have a dump button.
Yeah, I'm the only one that hasn't cussed, except for when I played that clip one time.
Roger Kaufman, you better get us a dump button.
Well, we've got the dump button, but I don't think it does a damn thing.
I don't think it does either.
Hey, Spry, let me know if this is doing something. I'm just pounding away here at the dump button. But it's not.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury, when we come back, we're going to finish up sports. This is Driver's Seat, one of the best cruise songs of all time on ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. I tell you right now, we delivered every morning as promised. Yesterday, the highest-ranking basketball team to play was 13th Kansas State, beat West Virginia 71-61. Notre Dame beat Pittsburgh 51-42.
Wow, high-scoring game. Notre Dame had 3 points 13 minutes into that game.
Come on, Notre Dame. Get it going.
Came back to win it.
The Hoosiers play at 7 p.m. tonight against number 4 Michigan State. Good game, baby.
Good game, yep.
Good game. I'm looking down this list. Oh, my goodness. Nicholls State at Lamar.
Man, that's going to be
8:30. Yeah. Nicholls State at Lamar.
It's got tournament implications.
Wow, all over it. I mean, depending on who wins that game is going to depend on who gets a 16th seed and who goes to the NIT.
Right. It's going to be the difference tonight. Yeah. Comes down to that.
Ohio Governor John Kasich's going to deliver the State of the State address.
That's all we
today.
got in sports?
That's all we got in sports.
No, come on. Let's go.
All right, okay.
William.
I'll tell you right now, I got it here somewhere. Let me find it.
I got a bunch of sports crap. How about that Josh Hamilton said that Dallas is not a baseball town?
It's not.
While in A.
It's not.
While in L.A.
Oh, he said it in
L.A.? I don't know. He's like, it's more of a football town here.
It is. And Texas is football.
Well, and then he's like, but then that kind of peeved Texas manager Ron Washington. But then he's like, he was asked what are baseball towns? Mm-hmm. Chicago, Boston, New York, Philly. Not Cincinnati, where we gave him a chance, and we actually are a pretty good baseball town.
Yes.
It's only the birthplace of the freaking game.
We are a good baseball team.
I wish he would have mentioned Cincinnati. I think Josh Hamilton's getting a little big for his britches. You watch. I bet he relapses again this year.
Nah, he ain't going to relapse.
He did last year.
I want everybody to know that that's going to go down as a stupid trade. I mean, come on, we already got rid of Volquez.
Oh, yeah. I don't think there's any doubt that the trade that we made. Yeah.
You trade an everyday player. Can you imagine Josh Hamilton in that lineup the last couple of years? Hello.
I know.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Our outfield would have been Jay Bruce, Josh Hamilton, Drew Stubbs. And Votto, Phillips. We would have had a
think about what Votto would have. Oh, my God. Could you imagine? Yeah, trade.
Votto and Josh Hamilton.
Love you, Walt. Love you, Walt, but that one was a bad one.
That one was a bad one.
You got to play the probabilities.
At the time, though, we needed a starter, and we were heavy on offense. We had an extra outfielder.
Trade a utility player for one. You got anything else you're just dying to talk about in sports?
What else we got going on? Well, we already talked about Bus.
Yep.
Yeah, go for it.
Let's give him Oracle status.
Yeah.
You know what?
Great life.
He put it together, man. Hey, how about his daughter?
Awarded Oracle status.
Who's the girlfriend of Phil Jackson.
Right, Jeannie. And apparently the relationship between her and her brother, who now basically own the Lakers, is not good. They're not even speaking.
Well, imagine that. Trust me. I know how that is.
Yeah. I mean,
I got 10 brothers and sisters. I love them all, but, man, to get along with them all at one time is tough to do. You know what I mean? Hello, Shannon.
Hi.
Hey, Shan.
Good morning.
What do we got to do to make Jake go to Frisch's?
Jake, get your ass out of here.
My God.
I placed the order.
Oh, you placed the order.
That's
you
right.
give
He
me the
calls
usual?
ahead.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, the usual. All right, what do we have here? That's boring. Now we got to mention it because Thomas Massey's involved. I take it back. As part of the national event to protest new gun control measures, a local event will be at the square, held at the square at Union Center in Westchester, noon till 4. Florence will see a day of resistance, noon to 2 at the Blue Star Building on Spiral Drive, where U.S. Rep. Thomas Massey will speak along with Boone County Sheriff Michael Helmick. Be able to have me out there introducing Thomas Massey. Duke Energy, over 3,200 homes, mostly in Butler County and Kenton County, lost power last night due to high winds. Wind is scary, isn't it? I think it's kind of scary.
Hey, speaking of wind, I don't know why it popped into my head last night, but I have a great promotional idea for your show.
What is that?
Jake and I drive around. We print off like 1,000 copies of just sheets of paper that just say Eric Deters, ClassX Radio, all that stuff. All the info you need, and find the windiest day of the year.
You're not going to put Wildman Walker's name on it.
No, absolutely not.
Go ahead.
Windier than hell, just whipping.
Right.
And we just walk around downtown.
And whoops.
And let it just fly everywhere.
I love that idea.
And we film it.
I love that idea.
Jake, get on that.
You've got my blessing. Montgomery Inn's offering all-you-can-eat ribs February 28th through March the 3rd for $23.99 per person. Well, that's enough. Why is that in the newsletter when my good friend Dean Gregory, he's not sponsored me yet? Come on, Dean.
For how much? I don't know that I could eat more
Dean
than one slab.
I got to give Dean Oracle status. He tried to refer me a pretty big case the other day.
You've been awarded Oracle status.
Thanks, Dean.
Mm-hmm.
How many ribs do you think you could eat?
A bunch.
More than one? I don't know.
Yep. 21-year-old Andrew Salyer of Milford was pronounced dead at Bethesda North Hospital.
Whole rack.
You guys want to talk about ribs while I'm talking about an accident where somebody
about racks.
died? Pretty freaking low down on your part. University of Cincinnati is hoping to upgrade Nippert Stadium. Do we not talk about this every year?
Oh, tear that place down.
A SWAT team was called in after a suspect refused to leave the Dixie Highway Frisch's around midnight. It was shut down until 4:30 a.m., and the suspect fled. Do not police officers just overdo everything? Something like that, they'll get excited. Oh, SWAT team, SWAT team. Hut, 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 hut. Do we have that? We didn't pick up that bit. Hut, 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 hut. Blues Brothers, remember? You didn't forget your freaking time.
No, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Jake remembers.
Mm-hmm.
Told you I don't watch movies.
Ex-Norwood police officer Robert Ward resigned after admitting to throwing a woman against a holding cell wall. He's being sued by Claude Henderson, who claims Ward also roughed him up and alleged money was taken from his wallet during the arrest. Oh, that never happens. Never happens. All right, Shannon, you got anything going on in traffic?
In Edgewood, there is an accident on Dudley Pike, west of Madison Pike. In Warren County, an accident on Highway 63, east of Highway 741. And in Westchester, an accident on Tylersville Road near Cincinnati-Dayton Road.
All right, these two bums have already said they can't Saturday. Saturday, there's a big event down at the Madison where the Battle of the Bands, the Rolling Stones and the Beatles. Do you have a hot date Saturday?
It's my best friend's birthday, so yeah.
You know what? Let's just
Date
go.
with her best
I'm not
friend.
going then either.
Yeah.
You know what? Our show is.
Scissor and sister.
We're the most anti-social people in the freaking world. We can't make any public events. So the heck with this. We never go anything. Even when we say we're going to be there, we don't show up. The last event, I couldn't go.
Snow.
Had a fight with my wife.
I was really
I
planning
don't
on
want to
going to
freaking
that.
go. And then you guys didn't want to go because I wasn't going. Next thing you know, none of us is going. You know what? I should have dogged you all, not told you I wasn't going.
Well, yeah, I probably would have canceled if you hadn't called me first. No, I wouldn't have. I'd have been there.
Yeah.
I'm all about the team.
All about the team.
Except I have an appearance fee from here on out, Spry. Want $1,000 per appearance. And then $100 every 5 minutes I'm there. So that's
reasonable.
$1,000 for showing up in the parking lot. 5 minutes every five.
Garrett, I just want you to know that you're worth every penny of it, buddy.
Thank you.
You deserve that appearance fee. All right, this is Jungle Love by Steve Miller on ClassX Radio.
Harrison Colorado, 89.1 WKCX, Crittenden, Florence, and Alexandria, and 89.3 WYNS, Waynesville.
Bulldog Nation on ClassX is brought to you in part each weekday morning by WindoWorldCincinnati.com. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, as a service to you every morning, we provide you a traffic report so you know where not to go and where to go, which highways and byways to avoid, and which ones that you should travel upon. So without further ado, I give you the number one traffic reporter in the tri-state, Shannon Cook.
Thank you. That was an excellent introduction.
You're welcome.
Just read the damn truth.
In Edgewood, there's an accident on Dudley Pike, west of Madison Pike. In Warren County, an accident on Highway 63, east of 741, and in Westchester, an accident on Tylersville Road near Cincinnati-Dayton Road.
All right. What do we have in more news that is of interest to you? Another lawsuit's been filed over the stranded cruise ship. By the way, yesterday, Willie...
I'd love to get your hands on that one.
Yesterday, Willie was talking to Ken Brew and was talking about him and I are going down. He just kept mentioning my name. Ken Brew just could not bring himself to say my name. It was obviously killing him, man. Actually, I think he finally did say Bulldog, but it was funny.
Ken Brew.
What else do we have here? A Texas millionaire, an eccentric Texas
T-Boone Pickens?
Stanley Marsh III. Stanley Marsh III. There's a sugar daddy for you. Has settled a group of sexual assault lawsuits by 10 local teens who claimed he paid them for sex. The suits claim Marsh gave the plaintiffs cash, alcohol, drugs, and in one case, 2 BMWs. What the hell's what's the problem?
Yeah, come on.
What's the problem, man?
Take the goods
a BMW, what are you going to complain about? God. My gosh.
Like sex, they're being punished.
Yeah. Not being punished, you're being rewarded. I wonder how many people would like send an email, text, or voicemail if you said, you get a brand new BMW 5 Series, just 15 minutes in the office, your phone would blow up. Try it, Garrett.
Yep. Ladies.
No, I'm just teasing.
You can have my...
No. We are a family radio station.
We are. Christian rock.
Lottery winners... 2 brothers in Wichita, Kansas had won $75,000, bought marijuana and meth Friday. One was refilling his butane lighter to light his bong. Blew up.
Ugh.
Oh, my gosh.
That's funny.
Dumb criminals. Jakester is back.
They don't deserve it.
Yeah.
What it was? Oscar Pistorius has reportedly tried to resuscitate Reva after shooting her before. By the way, did you hear what happened? Apparently got in a fight. She goes in the bathroom, and he fires his gun into the door, allegedly. And like, oh, I didn't mean to shoot her. Well, what do you think the odds are if you fired your gun in there? Yeah, he lost his temper, baby.
He's done.
He's done. Oscar, been nice knowing you. Mm-hmm. How do you kill somebody?
I know, man. Just
recklessly like that.
Especially with those legs.
It's incredible.
Blades. The legs.
In politics, Israeli presidents give Obama an award. What?
Oh, I think he deserves it. Come on.
He doesn't deserve that. That's messed up.
Let's give Obama Oracle status here.
No. Hey, get this, man. This is good stuff. You know, the Lincoln movie was about the ratification of the 13th Amendment, which banned slavery in 1865. Mississippi just now ratified it. Kentucky didn't ratify it till 1976.
Hey, way to get on board, Mississippi.
Oh, this is a shocker. Hillary Clinton is getting on the speaking circuit. Wow. Bill Clinton has earned $89 million in speaking fees the last 10 years.
Jeez.
At $1,000 an appearance, you'll catch them.
Yeah, I'd get there in no time.
No doubt about it.
100 appearances, $100,000.
Yep.
Wait, how much did he earn? $89 million?
$89 million, 10 years.
Oh, I'd have a lot more than 100.
I think so. You deserve. You better speaker than Bill. You can just get up there and do your Farley act and have people laughing. Conservative Political Action Committee, Sarah Palin has been asked to speak. Who cares?
That a girl, Sarah?
All she does is read. Washington gun bill, they think it's going to fail, according to Seattle Times. Secretary of State John Kerry has finally spoken to the Russian foreign minister about North Korea. How embarrassing. They ignore our freaking Secretary of State. Colorado State House passed a gun control measure that would include limiting the size of gun magazines to 15 rounds and shotguns to 8. You guys are going to love my law stories that I got to tell you guys. God, they're so funny. The life I lead.
Let's hear them.
If Republicans refuse, they won't be standing on principle but capitulating to the president. There's people that want them to filibuster on Hagel in the appointment of him as Secretary of Defense. Gas prices are at a 4-month high. Thank you very much, Barack Obama. Hey, how about this? Sources say Office Depot and Office Max are in advanced negotiations to merge. I personally prefer Staples. Just telling you, I prefer Staples. Reader's Digest is seeking bankruptcy protection. So all those nice little pithy sayings that they have in there and those little stories, apparently can't make any money on them. The high debt of liberal arts education. They rack up more student loan debt than any other education. Just go to Cincinnati State and get an electrical engineering degree. Of the world's 100 largest gun manufacturers, sales fell 5% in 2011. Well, it's going up this year. Hong Kong is a Disneyland. I wonder what a Hong Kong Disneyland is like.
Probably dragons and sushi.
The meteor that crashed into Russia is the largest object to crash into Earth in more than 100 years. Sushi. I hate sushi.
How do you hate sushi?
And my good buddy Jack Stecklin is the sushi man. By the way, there's another guy that ought to sponsor our show. Cincy Sushi. Stecklin. Come on, Stecklin. Man, oh man, oh man. I think I made my dad. My dad and I kind of had a little...
I'm going to call him later.
I gave my dad some grief about something. He stopped in my office yesterday for no reason at all. I think he was worried that I was mad. I wasn't mad. I get over stuff quick. It's like Shannon, when she screws up the traffic report off the air and I chew her out and she cries.
You yell at her real quick.
I get over it really quick. She cries, I yell, we're all back together.
Yeah. The next segment.
God, I'm not kidding.
I'll just eat these potatoes right into the mouth.
It was so funny. It was cute. I mean, I'm not kidding you. Shannon, don't take offense to this because, Mary likes you, but it's just like anything. She would prefer that we had another male sitting here every day than besides you.
You were just telling me the other day Mary hates her.
But it was so funny. It was so cute. Because Mary's got big blue eyes, in his face. And she was like a little kid when she said, yeah, Keith. Yeah, Keith, you can do the traffic. Yeah, you can do the traffic. I mean, it was so funny.
No, Mary, we've already got a traffic girl. And she's smoking hot.
You don't think Keith can fill those shoes?
Yeah, sorry, Keith.
Oh, this is funny. So he goes, well, who's the traffic girl? She goes, the girl that went to the prom with Parker? By the way, those of you that are watching the video thing, this is Shannon and Parker's prom date. Anyway, Keith goes, oh. He was like, he didn't want to take your place, Shannon. Just want to let you know. He didn't want to take your place.
Well, thank you.
Your job is
keeping
safe.
my job for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, American Jury, when we come back, we're going to have some more fun. I'm going to tell you some war stories. And until then, this is Kid Rock and Cowboy on ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury. Life is hard. We get up every morning and we got to go to work. And there's nothing better on the way into work, listening to radio, Superbity, and having an accurate, well-read, concise traffic report to make your day a little better on your way in. So without further ado, here's Shannon Cook, our traffic reporter, to help you get into work safely. Go ahead, Shannon.
In Edgewood, there is an accident on Dudley Pike west of Madison Pike.
Horrible.
Well done.
After that setup, and
well done. Well done.
Screw it
up. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury, you can listen to us every morning on 88.9 and 89.1 FM on ClassX Radio. Also, live tune-in radio. Also, you can listen on ClassXradio.com. We have ClassX on Facebook. In addition to that, you can listen to the live video simulcast on BulldogsNation.com. Gotta love that. You can also text me during the show, 859-250-2527, or email me at eric@ericdeters.com if you've got something to say. And, of course, you can get information about me on ericdeters.com and thebulldogsnation.com.
Yeah, ladies, nude pictures to Garrett at gmail.com.
All righty.
I'll forward them to Eric.
Have you guys sent your pictures and your little bio to Jim Shue?
Damn.
I'm serious, guys. Come on. They don't ask us to do much. You're not going to be there Saturday. You told me you all would. Shannon, will you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Will you make sure that you and these two guys here send a picture of themselves? By the way, you can send a regular picture or one that you took a picture and your bio to them, okay? Shannon, you're in charge of making sure these two jackwagons do that.
When's it got to be there?
They need it tomorrow. They need it by tonight. Tonight. Come on.
Tonight.
How hard is it to send them a picture and write one sentence? My name is Garrett. I used to be a producer at Clear Channel Radio. I work at Coke, and I'm Bulldog's main man console in the morning, or something like that.
There you go. You got that, Spry?
It would take you about 2 minutes.
Write that down.
Jake, I am the backup to the backup. I'm the zoologist, and I go get frishes every morning for Bulldog and Garrett, the two consoles. How hard was that?
Easy. Right, we're done.
Oh, my God.
Jake, send him a picture for me. A good one, flattering.
Shannon, what can we say about Shannon? I am the traffic girl in the morning on Bulldog Show. I get you to work safe. Thank you very much.
I only work 2 of the 3 hours of the show. That's all you're done. There you go. We're all. God. They're submitted. I'm going to send them to you so you can forward them because I don't know that Jim Shue's address. I don't want that hillbilly getting mine either. So.
All right, you guys are going to love this story. And I don't use the names to protect the innocent. I won't tell you where this happened or anything else. Some guy comes to see me yesterday. He insisted on only seeing me. He's been charged with prostitution. In other words, being a John, okay? And he busted red-handed, and everything else. And he's sitting there, and, creep factor's high, okay? And he tells me, he goes, I just want you to know that I get involved with prostitutes because I work on getting them off drugs. And he hands me a certificate claiming that, some organization gave him an award for successfully getting a prostitute off drugs. And I said, you might want to just not say that to the prosecutor, to the judge, because that is freaking creepy and weird. Even if it is true, don't claim that. I couldn't believe it. Your Honor, I was with her, but I was helping her. Here's another good story. This was on lawreader.com. Lawreader.com. You can find this story. My good buddy Stan Billingsley. Angela Ford was the lawyer along with a Seth Johnston who sued the lawyers in FinFin and got like $42 million back or something like that. But then she distributed the money before she was really supposed to, and they've kind of sued each other. Now, they got legal fees on $42 million. Do your homework on that one, all right? This guy just got indicted for spending $100,000 on artificial marijuana. Now, if you get a third of 40, let's round up to 45. It's easier to math. It's 15 divided by 2, $7.5 million. If you got $7.5 million legal fees Why would you spend $100,000 to invest in some artificial marijuana for trafficking?
Yeah, buy the real stuff.
Going to jail. You make $7 million and off to jail you go. Weird. All right. Now, what I'm about ready to tell you is
the most you've ever hauled in on a case, and you.
I don't say that. It's you know what? That is so tacky.
$2 million.
That is so tacky.
$3 million.
No. Now,
10 grand.
what I'm about ready to tell you is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So I'm allowed to tell you it. Okay?
Hey, my picture's ready to send away.
That is. You got it. You ought to send that. You ought to send that picture. You ought to send that picture.
Off it goes.
You ought to send a picture of Farley. Just send Farley. Just send Farley. Let's face it, Farley's estate's not going to try to enforce it. Just send him a Farley picture and say this is Garrett Sablehouse.
No, I heard they're big listeners of the show.
Yeah. Well, you took up my time now. I can't tell
the
whole story.
Tell the damn
No.
thing.
I got to save the story now. Shannon, any more traffic?
Just the accident in Edgewood on Dudley Pike west of Madison Avenue.
Well, there's a hill right there. I'm very familiar with that stretch of Edgewood. It's down there where Dave Neville, the chiropractors. There's another person ought to be a sponsor. Hey, Spry, do we have any salespeople on this show?
Pick up the damn phone, Spry.
You know what? I even made a list of people. I said, these are the people that you ought to contact for sponsorships. And now one salesman who's been with Spry forever acts like he could sell ice to Eskimos. Well, obviously he can sell ice to Eskimos, but he can't sell a freaking radio sponsorship.
Unbelievable.
I'm mocking them, baby. Yeah. That's how I'm motivating them.
Get them to buy some spots.
Making fun of them, you know.
Let's play some clips. Jake put a lot of effort into clips today. I feel bad we haven't played any.
All right, then play a clip.
That really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah, I stabbed a man in the heart.
I saw that. Brick killed a guy. Did you throw a trident?
Yeah, there were horses and a man on fire, and I killed a guy with a trident.
Brick, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. You should find yourself a safe house or a relative close by.
Anchorman.
Lay low for a while.
Anchorman, okay. Yeah,
okay. Will Ferrell.
Yeah, I got, right. Hit a trident.
Straight out. Flat out. I want you to give me the honest answer.
That was.
Shannon,
what do you think the chances
this is me talking to you.
A guy like you and a girl like me ending up together?
Not good.
You mean not good like 1 out of 100?
I'd say more like 1 out of 1,000,000.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
All righty. Good. I'm feeling good about that.
So you're telling me there's a chance. You know what? Babe Ruth said it. You know what? You can't hit a home run if you don't take a swing.
Damn right, babe.
You just keep asking. Don't you? If you went back in high school, like what you know now, wouldn't you like to go up to every freaking beautiful girl and just ask them out? They said no. Who cares? Next.
Oh, I would take all the swings in the world.
Sooner or later, somebody'd say yes. Hey, they say, oh my God, look who's going out with so and so.
Yeah, fish in a barrel. High school.
When you think about how stupid it was to be scared to ask a girl out, who cares if they say no? Take the rejection like a man. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury. When I come back, I will tell you the best story that I have. When I was rudely interrupted by Garrett and his promos that Jake got. Hey, Jake, thanks for the frishes, and Garrett's about time you bought ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, every night you tune into the news because you want to know the weather and you want to know sports and you want to know the news. And every morning as you turn on to ClassX Radio from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., and listen to Radio Superbity, you also count on that traffic superbity. And when we want to deliver traffic superbity, we turn to traffic girl Shannon.
In Edgewood, there is an accident on Dudley Pike west of Madison Pike.
Have you ever heard a better series of introductions for a traffic gal?
No, you're really talking me up today.
I want to tell you something.
I appreciate it.
The next time the next time I introduce you, I'll do it in the Shakespearean style.
Hey, let's do our stoner sports again.
Stoner sports? All right, you start.
You start. You got the sheets.
Hey, dude.
What's up, dude?
What's What's Dusty Baker's problem, dude? I mean, it's like, hey, we're Reds fans. Can't we know if Aroldis Chapman is going to be like the closer or is he going to be a starter? And if we ask the question, like, golly, Dusty, get all uptight, like, why don't you chill and have a doobie or something, man? Take a Valium, I mean, because I don't get it, because all we want to know is he going to be a starter? Is he going to be a closer? Baseball fans like us want to know. And he gets all uptight about it. I don't understand it.
Yeah, Dusty, chill out, man. We're paying these guys salaries after all, going to the games and stuff.
I mean, it only costs, like, how much now? Like $18 for a beer, dude? $18 for a beer.
It's pretty ridiculous. I demand to know whether Aroldis Chapman's going to start.
You know what? I got it. Let's boycott opening day. The parade, the game, every Reds fan boycott it unless they tell us what he's going to do.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
You going to get stoned earlier in that day?
Sure, dude.
All right, man.
I wonder how many Reds fans, like, are stoned, like, along the Reds parade every year, Like, I know, because I walked with Jim Scott once, and I'm not accusing Mr. Scott.
Jim a stoner?
No. I'm not accusing Mr. Scott of anything like that. But all I know is he walked a little funny sometimes.
I bet Jim Scott smokes a bunch of grass.
I don't know, but I just know he walked a little different. And this is really funny, dude. This guy that walked alongside us, there was me, dude, and then it was like Jim Scott, dude, and there was this little guy, like little short dude that like does nighttime on some radio station, dude. Nobody knew who he was. People would be like, "Hi, Bulldog! Hey, Bulldog!" And they'd say, "Who's the little short dude next to Bulldog?" Nobody knew who he was.
Mark with a C?
Yes. I'm not kidding.
That's funny.
I am not kidding you. I was actually embarrassed for him. It was like,
really?
Nobody knows who the hell this guy is.
Did he look just awkward as hell?
Yes, he was very uncomfortable.
That's awesome.
He was very uncomfortable. And there I am with Chuck.
I could see him doing that.
Here I am, and this is what made Jim Scott so mad. There's Chuck carrying the Bulldog Nation flag, and me with whiskey, and I got a Reds hat, and I got whiskey, and we're walking in the parade. They didn't even have a piece of Reds clothing on.
How do you not wear Reds gear, though?
They don't know how to do a Reds parade.
No. I think we need to put in the bid to become the home of the Reds.
I agree with that. Let's go for it, Spry. And listen, you and I'll do the play. I'll do the play-by-play. You do the commentary.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Although
I'd probably be better at both.
By the way, It's so easy. How easy would it be to be the Reds play-by-play guy? I love Marty, but come on. Yeah. I could do it. You could do it. Piece of cake. All right, here's the story. Now, I just want you all to know that this is unprecedented. I've been a lawyer for 25 years, and I've never, ever, ever had this happen to me, okay? Well, a couple of weeks ago, there was a hearing on this case. Farrah Wilson, it's being covered by the news. And everything I'm telling you was in open court, okay? Well, Rob Sanders, the case was supposed to begin trial today. Well, Rob Sanders just turned over some of the lab reports, okay? And it's like, hello, we just got all this. How are we supposed to be ready for trial if we don't get it tested? Well, Judge Summey said she wouldn't continue the trial unless within 2 days we proved that we got an expert. And I know the reason why she probably did that was because during the Sarah Jones case, we asked for an expert because we were going to get a computer expert, and then we decided, well, we didn't need one. So, like, hey, that's our prerogative, right? So, in the first time in the history of my law practice, I had to get an expert, or I was going to get in trouble. Rob Sanders says that we should be held in contempt if we didn't get an expert. Okay, so we get an expert. Yesterday, the case is called again. This is Farrah Wilson, the guy that's accused of shooting a cop. He's up for attempted murder, okay? Ed Clark's there, and judge asked everybody to approach the bench. Now, Judge Summey is the same judge that I asked to recuse herself in the Sarah Jones probation case. Now, get this. Rob Sanders sent an email to Judge Summey and hands it to Ed, and it says, Ed Clark visited Farrah Wilson this date, this date, this date. No one else has visited Farrah Wilson. And Ed gets this, and he's like, first off, like he's thinking, what's this relevant to? And number two, what are they doing? You know, what's the prosecutor checking to see how many times we went to see our client, okay? And first off, it was wrong, too, because I've been to see Farrell Wilson twice, too. In other words, so we've been to see this guy 5 times. And just to let you know, there's nothing more waste of your time than going to see your client in jail, because you know what? The only thing you can do when you're in jail talking to your client is tell him what's going on. And, you know, if you've already gotten all the information from him, it's kind of, you know, a lot of people want to be seen. But I can tell you, criminal defense lawyers will tell you, it's kind of like how many times you go see your client in jail. But anyway, so first off, he's got it wrong. Now, this is what they bring up. They bring up the fact that he's facing life. And Judge Summey, true story, makes a face at Ed in a sarcastic manner about it. The implication being is that we're not representing this guy well, you know, and like they're concerned that, you know, he's not getting the proper representation, okay? Now, what's really funny about it is I've never lost to Sanders' office. I'm 4-0 against his office. And I know he picked this case out because he figured this is an easy case. You know, cop got shot out. Well, of course, this is kind of funny because, let me see, they shot, I don't know how many times the cop shot, and my client doesn't have a bullet in him. So I'm thinking either they're lying or it isn't my guy or the cops really need to go to target practice. But anyway, Ed comes back and reports this to me, and I get madder than hell. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what is their freaking business? How many times to go see our client? And what is it their business, what we're doing in preparing for trial? It's none of their business. And to be sarcastic like that. And what it is, which is so funny, is I work my ass off. Now, you have to understand, they see me in the news. They see me in the news on this case. And the implication is that I'm too busy on all these other cases to be represented. And hello, I represent all my clients. That's why I freaking don't get any sleep. I take care of everybody. And you know what? I'd say just like 5% of our cases are in the news. 95% aren't in the news, and I got to take care of them. And I wrote a letter, which will be classic. I will read the letter tomorrow on the radio. I've written a letter to the judge and the prosecutor, and it'll be another Bulldog classic letter. But can you imagine that? The prosecutor and the judge spying on us to see how many times. I have never heard that in all my years of being a lawyer. And then making a face like, you know, he's like for life in prison. Like, oh, we're not ready. You know what I wrote in the letter? I'll share one part of the letter. I said, I could not review the file, fall out of bed, put on a suit, and show up in court and beat Rob Sanders in any case.
You could or couldn't?
I could.
Yeah.
I don't need to be prepared if I'm going to try a case of Rob Sanders. Robbie. I could fall out of bed, show up in court and say, oh, you're my client. What's your name, Bill? No problem. I got this. And then win. I mean, I'm just telling you. He is so bad. Robbie. Spying on us. And then he gets it wrong.
He always seemed curmudgeonly. Every time I talk to him on the phone.
He's a frat boy president. Frat boy prosecutor.
Makes sense. Where'd he go, Miami?
No, he went to Tulane. And, you know, he's disgruntled because he majored in communications and he doesn't have a job in radio.
That's what it is.
So he lives vicariously through me, only it makes him angry. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, keeping with our upbeat tone today, this is Billy Joel's classic, Only the Good Die Young. Robbie and Judge Summey, I shall be prepared, and I'll win on ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether it is better to suffer. I don't know what the rest of that is. There is a tide in the affairs of men. When taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. Omitted, all of our lives are bound in shallows and misery. We are at that tide, and we must take it as it serves, or we shall lose our venture. So now it's time to listen to traffic. Go ahead, Shannon.
In Edgewood, there is an accident on Dudley Pike, west of Madison Pike.
That was Cato and Julius Caesar.
That was excellent.
Thank you.
Great reporting, Shannon. That was real good.
Thank you.
I want to thank Custom Clean, Window World, and Jim True for sponsoring our show. And I want to tell you right now, sales team at this radio station better get in gear. or I'm going to send out Traffic Girl, Jake, and Garrett to pound on the doors.
That's right.
Pound on the doors. We've already done the animal thing, haven't we?
Jake's animal fact?
Yeah.
Something about neck bones.
It wasn't anything that you need to
actually, the
worry
best
about.
one was from the newsletter that when elephants
die, they do standing up.
That was a good one.
Okay, the Wall Street Journal has a story in their personal journal today that says, to charm and make friends fast, you share, but you don't overshare. I think that's very good advice. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
I mean, to make a friend, you share a little bit, but not too much.
I don't share a damn
You shouldn't
thing.
share too much to anybody.
Yeah, until you get to know them, and even then you don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Some things you just keep to yourself.
I mean, like people always ask me, boxers or briefs? I'm not going to answer that question. That's personal. It's private.
Briefs.
And but some people, they just want to know all your business and all that. They Facebook stalk you and everything else. Getting to know you. Relationship researchers use these questions as part of the Fast Friends protocol. While it might be awkward to start a dinner party conversation with a question like these, they illustrate how two individuals mutually revealing information a little at a time can build a friendship. Would you like to be famous? In what way? Stupid. I don't even know somebody. Hey, would you like to be famous? That's a dumb question. Before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say and why? I'm going to tell you a funny story. Back in the day, like if I was calling a girl for the first time, I would make an outline.
You write it down?
Not an outline, but I would jot some idea, some things down to make sure I was smooth. Did you ever do that? I admit it. I did it.
Absolutely not. I've always been a smooth talker.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, could talk my
way
way
I didn't
out
use
anything.
a teleprompter, but I would make notes. You didn't have to, Shannon. Women don't have to worry about anything. Do you have a secret hunch about how you will
die? Did you ever take notes?
No.
Shannon didn't.
When did you last sing to yourself? If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be? A spoiled brat only child instead of the middle of 11.
Ugh.
I'd rather be the spoiled only child. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be? You listen to these, William, there'd be some good philosophy questions. What would your quality be?
Sing.
That you'd be less judgmental?
Yeah, what? No, I'd sing.
You know what? I'd be nice to be able to sing because I have the personality to be a lead singer. I just don't have the voice. Oh, good golly. I have some more things that I'd like to share with you. The Libertarian Party is making strides in northern Kentucky, and there's a Campbell County and Boone County chapter, and I'm sending out the bat signal to the Libertarian Party. The Bulldog Nation will take care of Kenton County. We got some work to do there to throw some people out of public office. So you just send out the word, the Bulldog will take over the Libertarian Party in Kenton County and really the rest of Kentucky. Now this is an incredible, how much time we got? Now we got to play a song. We come back. I'm going to dive into this. There's a story in the USA Today reported in the Enquirer about educators being advised to confront the attackers. And I'm going to point out how freaking stupid these no-gun educators are when we return. Until then, we have music superbity, don't we? What do we got in music superbity? Oh, shoot to thrill, play to kill, too many women with too many pills on ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. Elvis Presley Bill Clinton has asked to introduce the traffic report, and I'm going to allow him to do it. Thanks, Bulldog. I wish you wouldn't have told everybody I made $89 million in the last 10 years on those speaking tours. Now Hillary's got to get out there. We're going to make a lot. But I just want everybody to know that if Traffic Girl Shannon ever wants to go out on tour and speak with me, not when Hillary goes, just when I'm out on the road by myself. If Traffic Girl wants to come out and give some traffic reports before I give my speech, in Houston, New York, big traffic. There's a lot of traffic in these cities. Traffic Girl can give the report before I give my speech and introduce me. Thank you, Bulldog. Now, without further ado, I'll give you Shannon, Traffic Girl.
In Kenton County, there is an accident on the exit ramp to I-275 at Crestview Hills, exit 63, In Cincinnati, a disabled vehicle on Montana Avenue at West Fork Road, and an accident on West Court Street at Central Avenue.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, in the obituaries today, I have to recognize a few. I got to recognize Jessica Ray Shear, only 21, of Cold Spring, who passed away just too darn young. Don't know all the circumstances, don't care. Just see that young face, and it just breaks my heart. I also want to acknowledge Ida M. Meyer, beloved wife of the late William C. Deters. I got to acknowledge the Deters passing. You know, the world is a bitter and better place without Deters in it. Did that come out right? All right. This is from this story by Kevin Johnson. By the way, coming up, we debated about this because I don't want to get in trouble, because I have to admit, I don't know if it's legal or not. But me and my son-in-law and Chuck have been participating in something, and kind of came by accident. I'm going to tell you the story. And I want to tell everybody, because there might be a lot of people out there that might want to participate in what we've been doing, but that's coming up next, okay? Baiting you, but trust me, it's well worth it. All right, there is a story how about law enforcement authorities are increasingly advising school officials and students to physically confront attackers as a final line of defense. The advisories now included in training represent a major shift in tactics. These incidents are becoming a fact of life, University of Wisconsin-Madison Police Chief Susan Riesling told law enforcement colleagues. There's no other option. Take the shooter out. Riesling, who has produced an instructional video in dealing with active shooters, police have always said, hey, you don't want to do this, all right? Now they got a new way of thinking. Police officials said they're not advocating arming teachers, students, office workers, or others. They also emphasize that confronting an attacker should always be the last option. Now, as I have preached over and over and over again how freaking stupid it is that you don't have guns at the school where somebody can shoot the bad guy before too many are shot and killed. I mean, it's so dumb that you're going to call the police officer to get there with the gun. I want to tell you something, folks. Defies any freaking logic of all time. And you know what? Nobody forces the jackwagons who don't want guns in the school to answer that question. It's very simple. Miss Willie Whacker, or no, not Willie Blacker, Stonebreaker. Now, she was that girl in Porky's. Miss Stonebreaker, can you explain to me, well, first of all, you set them up. Miss Stonebreaker, isn't it true that as soon as you know that a shooter is on school property, you're going to call 911 and call law enforcement? Yes, Mr. Deters. And isn't it true the reason you're calling them is you want the police officer to come and shoot the shooter? Yes, Mr. Deters. Could you explain then to me, Miss Stonebreaker, how in the hell it doesn't make more sense, because you want somebody with a gun to come and shoot the bad guy, that you don't have a gun in the office there already to shoot the bad guy? Well, we would just prefer if the police officer came and shot him. Even if it means more people are going to die? Yes, because we're against guns. The stupidest argument in the world. Now, how stupid is this based on this newspaper article? Even though you don't have a gun, and they don't want you to have a gun, they want you to go tackle the guy with the gun without a gun. In other words, you don't have a gun. Charge! I'm coming to get you. I'll get him. That's all right, Bob. I'll get him. As everybody gets shot one after the other, charging the guy with the gun. How freaking stupid are these people? You wonder why. I can tell you right now, you could point at all kinds of different reasons why America's screwed up. It's screwed up because our culture has gone to hell in a handbasket. It's screwed up because we've gotten fat, lazy, and flatulent, as Willie likes to say. But you could also say we have freaking had our country screwed up because not only do we have lousy political leadership, we have a bunch of freaking stupid people that have been trying to educate our kids the last 100 years, and they've done a really freaking lousy job the last 20 or 30. The mindset of somebody that would say, we don't want guns in our schools. Nobody that's a good guy should have a gun. And when the guy with the gun comes, we're going to call for somebody with the gun, and we want all you little third graders to charge the guy and kick him in the knees while he's blowing your freaking head off with his gun. That is the freaking mentality of our education system. By the way, there's also a story in the Wall Street Journal which I am anxious to share with you, and I am going to share with you. It's called Seeing Through the Days, and it's a book written by Michelle Ray, radical, fighting for students. And when she took over this school district in New York, she fired 241 teachers, 36 principals, and 22 assistant principals after taking over the district schools. She refused to accept incompetence. It is a wonderful story. I take that back. She was the former chancellor of Washington, D.C. And, you know, it's like, oh, like, here's something that she found. She'd go into a classroom, and they weren't doing anything, and she'd say, why are we doing anything? Oh, it's Friday. Can't learn on Friday. It is a systemic, sick, messed up education system that we have. And you know who's at fault? You know who's at fault? All the lousy school board members, all the freaking lousy school superintendents, all the lousy principals, and all the lousy freaking teachers that have allowed it to happen. Now, don't get me wrong, folks. I know there's some good school board members, and I know there's some good principals, and some good teachers, and some good classrooms, and some good districts. Of course we know that. But there is far way to, and you know what? To have one bad one in the entire country is one too freaking many. There's no excuse for it. Zippo. No reason whatsoever to have a lousy school board member, a lousy superintendent, a lousy principal, and lousy teachers. No excuse. It's a shame. Bunch of jackwagons. You know what I need? I need some Led Zeppelin. When we come back, I'm going to tell you about what's been words kind of getting out there. It's kind of cool to be involved in something underground. It's kind of cool. I'm going to tell you about BFC when we come back on ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury. Elvis is asked to introduce the traffic report. Thank you very much, Bulldog. I just want to say that, I kind of took a little bit of liberty with Ann Margaret in Vegas. Thank you very much. But your traffic girl is just measured straight up with her. So go ahead, Shannon, give us some traffic. Some peanut butter sandwiches.
In Erlanger, there's an accident on I-71-75 northbound at the Erlanger exit 185.
All right. You know, good old Dinkle, he's old Tom Dinkle. He's a member of Bulldog Nation, and he sent me a text saying, yeah, Bulldog, let's charge the shooter. You first.
No, Dinkle, your pansy ass first. I don't know about Dinkle.
Yeah.
He used to play for the Bengals. Did he?
Yeah, he did. He was the, they called him, I think, the Kansas Rocket.
Was he the third string?
No, he wasn't the third. How dare you?
Dinkle.
All right. Everybody knows that I fought an actual MMA fight against police officers like 12 years younger than me, and I lost.
How long did that fight last?
Not very long. But anyway.
Under 10 seconds?
You know, my son Parker, who is like, he works out like 3 freaking hours a day. I mean, he is just getting stronger. Well, he wanted to, get involved in MMA. And this is kind of a rare, but it was about 2 weeks ago. It was on Thursday night, because you know me, I don't like to do freaking anything on Thursday night. Parker Chuck and Chad and I, my son-in-law, we drove down to Covington. And where I was going was this training center where the guy that I fought, Larry Shelton, the poodle, trained. And I heard there was a mixed martial arts training center down there. And that, this would be a good place to go or whatever. So we drive down to Covington.
Y'all put your tap-out shirts on, head down to Covington.
And we can't find a place, okay? So we park the truck. We think we found the place, and we're walking around, and I don't know if I had the address wrong or what, but we couldn't find the place. And as we're walking along the sidewalk, we noticed a couple guys going down into a basement, like a lower level, those old Covington houses, okay? And we heard some noise and some commotion down there. And some other guys walk by, and we say, "What's going on down there?" And they said, "Well, are you cops?" And we said, "No." "Do we look like cops?" And they said, "Well, follow me. I'll show you." So the four of us followed down, the steps into this place. And I swear to goodness, and if you're a cop listening, I'm not going to give you the address. These dudes have a fight club. Just like that freaking movie. These guys were down there going at it bare freaking knuckles. And each of us have now, over the last 2 weeks, I'm going to be honest, I got knocked out like in 30 seconds. This dude went pow. I mean, nailed me, dropped me. But I tell you, Chuck, man, Chuck had the worst fight. Chuck had this guy, and they freaking went at it for a freaking while. In fact, Chuck didn't want to come into the office. He can work from home because of what he does for me. And he even had Rebecca put on some makeup. But Chuck had a pretty brutal fight, but he won.
Chuck did?
Chuck won.
You don't mess with Chuck, man.
Chuck won.
Kick your ass.
Parker hasn't fought yet, and I said, "Parker, I don't know if I want you to do this, and if you do it, I don't want to be there." And the same thing for Chad, although they wouldn't admit it, because Chad's my son-in-law. I think Chuck and Chad snuck down there last week and went, and I think Chad fought. But I'm not kidding you. This is it is wild. Now, there isn't like a whole bunch. There was like 25 guys. No women are allowed. They don't let any women in there. But it's a bare-knuckle fight. And by the way, Chad then came up with an idea. He says what we ought to do is we ought to have some kind of a fundraiser or an event where you actually do that to raise money and call it Excessive Force Awareness Month. Like bring attention to excessive force with police officers and try to make it kind of like a fundraiser thing. But I told Chuck, I said, we ought to talk to these guys. But they don't want any attention brought to it. I said, we ought to call it the BFC, the Bulldog Fight Club. But I'm not kidding you. I lasted like 5 seconds. This guy it was like this, pow, cold cocked me, dropped me like a freaking. But a real fight club exists in Covington. Y'all want to go?
No, absolutely not.
Can I be the ring girl?
By the way,
Shannon wants to go in a bikini and
they don't have ring girls.
Strut around with a sign.
By the way, you're allowed to bring somebody, but if you go, you have to commit to fight at least once. I think that's why they hook you, kind of like, hey, we're not going to share our secret unless you agree to fight at least once.
Are guns allowed?
No.
I'm out.
I swear to God, you should have seen these. This guy kicked Chuck right square in the gonads.
Why? See, why would you do that?
Chuck freaking went down. He shook it off. I mean, it was brutal.
Is that legal? You can't just keep popping somebody in the nuts?
You can it's a freaking free for all.
Wow.
Bloody.
Wouldn't expect anything else from you, Covington.
Although Chuck's not a bleeder. The other guy was freaking a bleeder. He's a bleeder. Reason why I think Chad fought is his hands were freaking messed up. Now, Parker's hands were messed up one day because he was hitting the heavy bag, in the garage at home. And I said, what'd you do that for, son? I was just mad, Dad. I just went out there and beat the hell out of the heavy bag. I said, geez, don't freaking beat. You know what I used to be?
He's blowing off some steam.
Let me tell you something I used to always think, okay? Because there is strength in age, numbers, and I got skills and everything else. But for the first time, and I hope he's not listening, I don't think I could take my son. I think my son will whoop my ass.
I think I'd whoop your ass.
But that's okay. I'm freaking
Chuck. What about you and Chuck?
But I'm 49. Chuck probably whooped me. But I'm telling you right now, it doesn't bother me. See, before it would have bothered me. Like if my 16-year-old son whooped my butt, it doesn't bother me. In fact, I'm kind of glad Parker's a big old, strong, strapping boy. But we got to find that place, man. We went to the wrong place and ended up in a fight club. Now, here's what I don't know. I'm being honest. I'm a lawyer, but I don't know if that's legal or right. No, I didn't see anybody betting. I didn't see anybody betting. People were just there for the fun of it. Now, I don't know if there's a rule that two people just can't freaking fight. But the Covington PD wants to
shut it down.
Yeah, but if there's no money being passed, isn't it allowed to do? Can't two people just fight? I'm just asking. It seems to me they can. Why do they have to have them?
It's consensual.
Yeah, exactly. Shannon, would you? Let me tell you something that I can't stand. I can't stand to watch somebody get. I don't mind watching boxing, but as soon as somebody's getting the hell beat out of them, it makes me real, real uncomfortable. Yeah. I feel sorry for them. I'm like, man.
Yeah. It's sad.
It is sad. Or like you see those fights like on the playground where somebody's like taking somebody's head and just bashing it in the concrete. It's like, man, that's not cool.
No, I don't like to watch that.
I can't believe I admitted that one punch knocked me out.
I see somebody fighting and I feel bad for the guy.
By the way,
keep walking right on by.
And unlike the other guy was 12.
Do a damn thing about it.
This guy was about the same age as me, but he, for lack of a better word, he was a grizzled Covingtonian. He was a grizzled Covingtonian, man, and he just went whap. I didn't even see it. I don't want to fight again, to be honest with you. I'll let Chuck and I don't want my son-in-law Parker to fight either. But I think Chad already snuck down there. No. She'd go bonkers. Mary would go bonkers too. I'm just hoping she's not listening. Well, anyway, there's my BFC. Got another story to tell when we come back. This is All Along the Watchtower by Hendrix. We play this song a lot, but who cares? Because it freaking rocks on ClassX Radio. Bulldog on ClassX Radio. Speaking of fight clubs and whatnot, and if you ask these kids, every one of them remember it. It's kind of weird, but our kids never had many parties at the house, and we never, we didn't discourage them or anything. But Erica had her 8th grade graduation party at the house, and I'm talking about a gang of kids. There's like over 50 kids came. All right. Oh. And there was swimming pool, basketball, and everything else. And this just happened. Remember, I say about the best parties always are just accidental. I don't know how it started, but we had boxing equipment, boxing gloves and headgear and everything. And down in the basement, I don't know who began, but a couple people started boxing. A couple of these kids started boxing. And Brett Ross, whose daughter was in her class, he was there, and me refereed. And all night long, we let these 8th graders fight. And the boys fought each other. We only had one bloody nose. We had one blade. They had headgear and boxing. The girls fought each other. Erica did it too. How many
parents called you the next day?
Well, this is what I was going to tell you, which is incredible. No parents complained. There was no issue. There was no nothing until this day. When I run into some of those kids in Erica's class, they bring that up, and they say it was the best freaking party they ever had. They were swimming, they were having a good time, and we had boxing matches. And by the way, there was no ring. There's furniture and everything else, and Brett and I would step in when somebody got vulnerable, but only one nosebleed. I think the littlest guy beat that one, and this one little, what was her name? Smith, the little Smith girl, she was a cheerleader. I think she won among the girls. But they had a blast boxing. No parents complain. Now, can you
'Cause you're a
imagine?
lawyer.
Can you imagine if you do that? Can you imagine if you did that at a school? Oh my God! All right, Shannon, give us your traffic report, please.
In Erlanger, there's an accident on 7175 northbound at I-275, Erlanger exit 185.
Great report, Shannon.
Thank you.
Jake,
and I heard Mary's listening. How you doing, Mary?
Good morning, Mary.
I think that she's listening because she's going somewhere. So be nice. We're always nice anyway.
Yeah, I like Mary.
Hey, Jake, you going to
Sweet
say
lady.
hi? How's it going, Mary? Is this mic on? I don't think it was
How's it going, Mary?
I don't turn Jake's mic on.
Gary leaves that off.
Yeah, just leave Jake's mics on. Do you have another animal fact you'd like to share? Impress Mary with an animal fact.
Shark eyes can be used in human eye transplants.
Really? Now that is a good one.
I want a shark eye.
You know, sharks don't get cancer. Is that true?
I don't know.
I heard sharks didn't cancer. That's why a lot of people, they think they eat like shark pills or something.
That could be.
But sharks do eat people if they're in the water and there's little blood. They will eat you. That's a fact, isn't it? Is that an animal fact?
Yeah.
I think that's a fact. Yes.
I am not kidding you. When I swim at home in our swimming pool, I worry about a freaking water snake biting me. When I'm in a lake, I worry about a shark or a snapping turtle biting me. When I'm in water, I just think there's a shark. I'm in the Ohio River.
Scenario.
I used to think a shark is going to freaking eat me.
My brother's like that.
In the ocean, shark's going to eat me.
He would swear he was getting bit by fish.
Hey, I tell you,
in the ocean.
if you saw the size of snapping turtles that crawled out of the farm ponds, I'm talking about as big as a freaking tire on a vehicle. And when they open up and they clamp, oh my, it is like scary. And we used to swim in those lakes. Oh, God.
Take your toes off.
Yeah. I got a major announcement.
It's a turtle, you pansy ass.
And I'm hoping, snapping turtle, not a little porpoise. I'm hoping the local media will cover this story because, I haven't gotten 5, 9, 12, and 19 in the Enquirer to cover the resignation of the Campbell County jailer. They haven't covered the secret surgery, experimental surgeries at Children's Hospital. They haven't covered the Dusty Rhodes conflict of interest with Coast. They haven't covered the lawsuit against the bank. They won't cover it, but maybe they'll cover this. I don't know. The media generally does not cover medical malpractice cases, and I get that, understand that. However, we are filing today, and we already have 5 cases filed. Today, we are filing 7 more cases against Dr. Durrani from the Center of Advanced Spine Technology. Sounds pretty fancy, doesn't it? And here's how bad this is, folks. Those of you that are in the medical field, the local neurosurgeons and orthopedic doctors around town who are treating these patients after Dr. Durrani are testifying under oath that these surgeries were unnecessary. That doesn't happen ever. And it's a public service. I always say to myself when I send out a press release or I have a case that I put out there to the media, I do it for 2 reasons. 1, the client wants it, and 2, there is a public service component to it. In other words, it's worth telling everybody. Now, you're not going to tell me that it's worth the news to tell the public that there's a guy that has that many issues going against him, to warn them about, hey, you may not want to have this guy do a spine surgery. You might want to get a second opinion. None of that slander. I just, let's get it out there. If somebody wants to still use him, fine. But they ought to be aware of this. And, of course, I'll get it out my own way with my 50,000 Facebook newsletter fans, radio fans, so forth and so on, and word will spread. But we're having a press conference at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning right upstairs in my office, and a lot of my clients are coming. My clients want to tell their story. And it's pretty incredible. Now, we play rock and roll here, but we have hanging on our walls St. Thomas More. We have hanging on our walls Shakespeare. We are a cultured people also in Bulldog Nation, as you know. And I thought I would play my favorite classical song of all time. And this is the version from Immortal Beloved, which, by the way, is a true story and a great movie. But this is Beethoven, Ode to Joy, as my producer, my assistant producer, has to tell my other producer that it's time to freaking play a song.
Reading something.
Jeez, old Pete. Are you ready? We're going to give the Bulldog Nation some class music.
I don't know, Jake.
Is it playing, Jake? Here we go. Enjoy, folks. Ode to Joy on ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. I tell you right now, best show in the country. You all know that. I want to thank you all for listening every single day as we deliver the superbity that you want and you need. All right, Shannon, do you have anything going on in traffic as you give your final traffic report for the nation?
In Erlanger, there is an accident on I-7175 northbound at I-275, exit 185.
All right. That's very good, very good, very good.
Nicely done, Shannon.
Thank you.
I just want everybody to know that if you got an idea for the show, if you've got some type of message, if you got constructive criticism, just email me or text me. By the way, had a funny message on Facebook yesterday. Some guy contacts me, calls me, and I talked to him several times. In fact, he admits he talks to him. And I didn't get back to him yesterday. Mondays are hectic. And he puts this message on Facebook like, hey, you just want whatever you get on 5 o'clock news. Da, da, da. And what is so funny, I got to tell everybody this story because it's very relevant to something that's going to be announced a week from now. Major announcement a week from now. I have individuals that are close to me who care about me who probably give me some good advice, which is I should only handle the super big cases and stay focused on that, not work as hard as I do.
It's a great idea.
So forth and so on. Now, what I do is I do that, but in addition to that, I allow people to text me and email me with big, small, and medium little legal problems, and I dish out free legal advice all day long. Okay? That's what makes me me. That's my brand, okay? Well, it really, really, really pisses me off. Don't do that, Garrett. Just some jackwad. It's very irritating, man. Garrett is sitting here with a gavel making freaking noise while I'm drinking.
This?
Yeah. So anyway, my God.
Don't the whole damn time.
It's like a chalkboard freaking coming down. You
guys are children.
Hey, can we get him his breast implant back? Because the breast implant didn't make any noise. Go get his breast implant back because it didn't make any noise.
At least the fake boob is silent. The hell brought that gavel in here?
Exactly. Okay, there you go, Garrett.
There you go.
There.
Thank you.
Play away, Garrett. There, we have solved the problem. You got something in your hand, and I don't have to be distracted. But anyway, it really pisses me off.
My boob's back.
When I do this all day long, and everybody close to me has to tolerate that I'm doing this, and then somebody wants to give me a hard time because I didn't get back to him as quick as he wanted me to get back to him on a Monday. And it really makes me freaking mad. So I just freaking told him off.
Then we go track him down?
And we Facebook whacked him. Yeah, we did. We Facebook whacked him.
Good job.
Deleted block. Done. See if you ever get any free legal advice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway.
Don't feed the trolls. That's what I
okay, let's go around the table. Anybody got any final things before we end the show? Shannon, anything in traffic or anything else you'd like to report on?
No. Everybody have a great day.
Thanks, Shannon.
You're welcome, Gary.
Great addition.
Jake, do you have anything?
I hope everyone has a better day than what Shannon wished upon them.
Well, you know what I've already said, that yesterday was such a great day. The day's going to suck. And Chuck says, no, it won't. And I say, yes, it will.
You have to be positive. You can't say that.
By the way, guess where
happy
Chuck...
thoughts. I didn't want to say anything.
Positive?
I know a lot of you live vicariously through me with some of these cases we got. Guess where Chuck's headed? He's headed to serve subpoenas on the Withrow School for their video surveillance. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom of Info Act.
Just can't wait to see what... Because you know what? Someone's lying. Either my sweet, nice, precious Alan, who works for nuns, is lying, or the Withrow administrators, the bullies' allies, and the cops are lying. And if they are, there will be hell to pay. In fact, I'm totally convinced since I'm involved, they've circled the wagons and they're saying, man, Bulldog's going to sue us. In fact, I demanded an apology from Craig, and I said that would reduce the civil damages. Let's face it, if you apologize right away for something, that kind of takes the wind out of the sails, Hey, I'm sorry.
Now we need Chuck to go over bust some skulls.
No, he's not going to bust skulls. He's going to serve subpoenas. And
bust some skulls while you're there too, Chuck.
Storm into a classroom and beat the heck out of the bully. Take your Bulldog Mafia shirt off before you do that. I'm just. You know what? I couldn't hit a high school kid, except if the high school kid was bigger than me and was beating the hell out of somebody. I could hit a high school kid.
Yeah, I'd have no problem with that.
I mean, come on. If a high school kid's beating the hell out of somebody, I'm going to break it up.
I'd hit a kindergartner.
You're terrible.
I don't give a damn.
I just want you to know that ClassX Radio and the Bulldog Nation waives any rights. We do not endorse the statements made here on the radio station by Garrett Sablehouse. Yeah. We do the zoologist and the traffic girl, but not Gary.
Keep your children away.
Remember, every dog
they pose a threat.
Remember,
their little ass.
Remember, every dog has their day. We hope today is yours. Sweet love, thanks for listening. I dedicate this song to you on ClassX Radio.
That's you, Mary.